I have a question for all of you, but also for Sean Fraser, because he's the one who deals with criminal justice reform, right? Like that's his job. Like new laws about what is and isn't criminal. I saw a documentary a while ago, and in it, I learned that in Australia, if you know or have evidence that someone else has harmed a child in, the kind of way that a lot of people are talking about a lot more, and the news isn't reporting on or talking about, probably because a lot of the reporters are worried that if they talk about that, the people who sign their checks won't be happy because that's how rich people bond, and we just need to be acceptful of their weird, fucked up lifestyle. Anyway, in Australia, apparently they have some sort of law that makes it so that if you know that someone did that to a kid, you have to inform law enforcement or you could be charged. And now, I don't know the specifics, but I do know that that's how the head pastor of Hillsong's church got in trouble. Hillsong's the ones that, 99% of evangelicals, that's all they sing these days. Or, I don't know, maybe things have changed. Haven't been in an evangelical church in a while. Their pastor got in trouble because his dad, who was the founder of the church, used to like to do bad things to kids. And at one point, he got old and he started to feel guilty about it. So he phoned up one of the kids who probably never wanted to hear from him again and said, "Oh, I'm really sorry. If you want, I could give you some money." And the guy was like, "Ah," and hung up. But then he later was like, "Well, he really fucked up my life. If I can have some money, I'll take it." So he reached out to the church, and the guy's son, I believe, if I remember correctly, did pay him, but he never tattled on dad, which was illegal. And you know what? I think our jails would get a lot nicer if we started up locking away every, well-connected person who somebody knew hurt a kid, because it turns out a lot of those people have connections. And we could actually get, some focus on making jails more than just extended torture chambers. And we could actually see resources put into rehabilitation, helping people figure out why they did what they did. And you come up with coping strategies so that when they get out, they're not going to reoffend and they won't just revert back to the patterns that got them locked up in the first place. And by the way, if we ever do institute like this kind of common sense law, I say no exceptions for confessionals or church staff or anything like that. If you want to give exceptions for non-church affiliated licensed psychologists and psychiatrists and that sort of thing, that's fine. There needs to be people who have unwanted compulsions. They need to have a place where they can go, where they can talk to somebody and maybe figure out how not to ever do that again. But we can't make exceptions for organizations like the Catholic Church or the Mormons or any evangelical denominations, or basically anything where anybody gets behind any sort of pulpit or lectern and tells other people how to live their lives, because it turns out from personal experience, I know that those people are often fucking monsters.